for educational critical review and reaction is the late, great Jordan Maxwell.
Okay, Jordan.
Well, what I want to talk about for a moment, I have talked about over and over and over again, and I realize it's such an arcane and strange subject that most people don't relate to it, but I'm going to do it again. I want to talk about the importance in this particular scenario that we're living through right now, the importance of the planet Saturn. I believe that the planet Saturn is playing a very important part in what is going on in our country and around the world right now, but not in the way that you would think. I'm not talking about some implications in the astrological chart, though I also believe that there is some very legitimate knowledge in the ancient knowledge of astrology that is playing into this, though I shouldn't be a bit surprised. But no, I'm talking about the planet Saturn as it has been understood by the ancient secret societies of the world, and how it was really came to its full understanding of the religion of the planet Saturn under the Nazis. The Nazi religion was based on the planet Saturn, the god of the darkness, Darth Vader, the dark side of the Force. And Saturn was always referred to as the god of the dark sun, the black sun. And the planet Saturn plays a very, very important, pivotal role in the belief system of the Nazis and the revolutionary religious orders out of the Middle East. It's a very important subject that most Americans have never heard of and have no idea in the world about.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to Mecca, for instance, in Saudi Arabia, you will find in Mecca a huge building which is squared, and then there's a courtyard, an enormous courtyard, which is a perfect circle, and within the courtyard there is a black square. There is a black building, a black cubed building. It's called the Black Cube, or the Kaaba. The Kaaba is connected directly to the worship of the planet Saturn. This is why it is draped in black, and it is referred to as the Black Cube, from which we get the concept of a Kaaba stone streets, not cobblestone, but Kaaba stone, black square. And consequently, the black square of the Kaaba is devoted to Allah, which is the symbol of the worship of Allah, is in the black square of the black cube of Mecca, goes back to, in all the reference works. You can go through and get the doctoral theses, go to UCLA and get all the doctoral works on it, go to all the reference works at the universities, and they all are telling you the same thing, that the black cube, the black square, which is the same black square mortarboard that you wear on your head when you graduate, the black square or black cube
same thing,
is the symbol for the planet Saturn. And therefore, once a year, we have something called the Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras is a celebration, it's called Carnival, down in Rio, in South America, and in Mississippi, in New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama. They have the Mardi Gras celebration, which is an old, ancient, arcane Christian celebration. And the king of Mardi Gras is referred to as King Saturn. And the Carnival gives us our concept from carnivorous, or carnival, the eating of flesh, or the destruction of an old world order. And that's why in Carnival you have, or Mardi Gras, you have this huge party. It's one great big drunken fest party, and afterwards, and the party is celebrating the end of the world. And the King Saturn on the last day comes downtown and throws out all of the gifts to people, because King Saturn is the god of chaos and world destruction. The black square, the black cube, And then comes the new order of the world, in which all things are now quiet. All the war has quieted down. All the bloodshed is over. The party is now over, and now we pick up the pieces like they did in Germany and begin all over again now to build civilization up after the Great War. Well, all of this is understood by generals and by military people and by especially people who are well trained in the occult world of symbols and emblems and arcane subjects, of which the military and the government of this country and around the world are always, inquiring. What does this mean? What does that mean?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm telling you, the planet Saturn plays a very important part in the Middle Eastern religions, and the ancient East, and in the Western religions, even in our theological systems in the Western world. The planet Saturn is profoundly important.
Oh,
the
all
god
right.
of chaos and war, the god of destruction and violence.
Okay, stand by. Saturn, you've linked it amazingly, right, to the Kaaba.
Yep.
That black cube. This kind of thing always is out there, and you have to think about it.
Well, I know, especially when the secret societies and the most powerful hidden forces in the world are at work. I'm just amazed at how many people have never, don't know anything about it.
Well, they don't have a chance. They got TV, football. Listen, how many instances have you been able to determine from our vantage point would suggest that there is a split, or there are factions amongst this global elite they're at odds? They're not all single-minded. There's not a unanimity of purpose and goal here. Do you see any struggling going on up there at those high levels?
Oh yes, as a matter of fact, I'll give you one right off the bat. When Nelson Rockefeller died, I mean, a classic example. When Nelson Rockefeller died, they found him in his office in Rockefeller Center. And supposedly, the story was that, of course, they cremated his body within, I think it was 48 hours. His body was cremated, so no one will ever know. But it was supposedly said that he died of a heart attack because he was with some young girl. I don't buy it for a minute, but but he died, and under mysterious circumstances, and the Rockefeller family had him cremated immediately, and that was it at the end of the story. However, about 6 weeks later, Lord Louis Mountbatten, because the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds were having a falling out, and it was in the news, and it was scuttlebutt around the secret societies that the Rockefellers are having a falling out with the Rothschilds,
right,
as to who's going to play big cheese here.
Right.
And so Lord Louis Mountbatten was very, very important, like a first cousin to the Rothschilds. He was a very important man to the Rothschilds.
Yep.
And if you'll recall, off the coast of Ireland, his yacht was blown to bits, and they couldn't even find his tennis shoes. And so I'm thinking to myself, what's are there falling outs at the top going on with wholesale murder going on? We know the mafia does this. We know the mob does that every now and then. They got to cleanse with blood. So I'm sure that there's some real serious falling out among the powers that be in this world. They're not all together.
How do we factor in, Jordan, the Illuminati, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, and governments like that of India, the Islamic State of Pakistan, which are, by the way, exchanging artillery fire again in the Kashmir? We're trying to play both sides against the middle over there, of course, but you have these Asian countries which don't necessarily line up with the occult societies of the Western world. I'm talking about the Chinese, of course, and the Indian.
Mm-hmm. So
where does this all lead us?
Well, I'm going to give you my opinion, and it's going to be pretty far out. But I think that there can be a case can be made for the possibility that there is some sort of an other-world connection behind the scenes, which Christians and Jews themselves would admit. You hear in Judaism and Christianity the existence of angels and demons, etc. I think there's something to that. I think that there's some legitimacy to that concept, but but it's not what you think it is. And I tend to believe that there very well might be some sort of other world influence on mankind's affairs, and I think that the people in power in this world, and I'm talking about the people who run the world from behind the scenes, are very, very much in tune with and in touch with these other world entities and spirit entities, or whatever you want to, sons of God, the Hebrews call them in the Bible. I think that it's very possible that we are being led into, the whole world is being led into all of this mess by some very powerful and awesome intelligent minds and forces at work that we don't even, on our level, we don't even begin to know about. The UFO community has been talking for years about the existence of extraterrestrials. And let me also throw this in. The people who talk about extraterrestrials or being kidnapped or abducted, I guess the word is, Stanton Friedman made a profoundly important point once when he said that these people could make a testimony, give a testimony in a court against you, and you would be hard put to refute their testimony if they testified in a court and swear on a Bible that they saw you do something which is a capital offense. You would be in serious trouble because they have testified before a court that an eyewitness saw you do something. However, if they testify that they have seen extraterrestrials, now they're an idiot. And I said, wait a minute, you can't have it both ways. I mean, you have airline pilots that go into court and testify they saw you kill someone. You've got some serious problems. But if the airline pilot goes out and says that he saw a UFO, now he's an idiot. No, I think what we've got here is I think we have other world intervention in our civilizations, in our world, and I think the ancient Hebrews knew that. I think the ancient people in the ancient East knew that, and I think they're still here. That's just my opinion, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we're being led into all of this by some extraordinarily brilliant and powerful entities who, for a lack of a better term, I guess I would have to call ETs. I don't know. But if you want to laugh at that, then you better laugh at the Jewish religion. You better laugh at the Old Testament and the Bible. You better laugh at the Christian gospel. You can laugh at all of that. But around the world, very powerful people do not laugh at such things. Knowledgeable, intelligent men do not laugh at the world of the occult.